It happened on an ordinary night, over something as small as a joke. A cruel, cutting joke that changed everything between us in an instant. My wife, Neha, and I had been married for 9 years. We had our ups and downs, but I thought we were stable. We had built a life together. 2 kids, a nice home, a routine that made me feel like things were on track. Sure, the passion wasn't the same as in the early days, but that's marriage, right? Comfort replaces chaos, routine replaces fireworks. I thought we were both okay with that. That night, we were sitting on the couch after putting the kids to bed. She was sipping wine, scrolling through her phone, half paying attention to the TV. I made some comment about how she was always distracted when we were together, trying to keep things light. She rolled her eyes and smirked, and then, without warning, she said it. At least my ex never complained. He was bigger. She said it casually, like she was tossing a joke across the room, but the words cut deeper than any scream, deeper than any fight we'd ever had. My heart stopped. My chest tightened. I stared at her stunned, waiting for her to laugh, to say she didn't mean it, but she didn't take it back. She just smirked into her glass like she'd scored some kind of victory. I sat there in silence, my blood boiling. I couldn't believe what I'd just heard. 9 years of marriage, 2 children, a life built together. And she decided to humiliate me in the cruelest way possible, comparing me to the man she used to sleep with. I didn't explode. I didn't yell. Instead, I stood up, walked to the bedroom, and closed the door. She called after me once, but I didn't answer. I lay awake the whole night, staring at the ceiling, replaying her words. The next morning, I was cold, distant. She noticed, of course. "Are you seriously mad about what I said?" she asked, laughing nervously. "You humiliated me," I said quietly. "Oh, come on." "It was a joke," she said. "You're too sensitive. You know I didn't mean it." But the look in her eyes told me she did mean it, at least a little. And even if she hadn't, what kind of wife makes a joke like that to her husband? That day I made a decision. I wasn't going to argue. I wasn't going to beg for respect. I was going to show her what it felt like to lose everything she took for granted. Over the next few weeks, I got my affairs in order. Quietly, I met with a lawyer. I documented everything. Her cruel remark, her dismissive attitude, the emotional damage she'd inflicted. I gathered financial records, secured my assets, and planned my exit. At home, I acted normal, calm, even affectionate. She thought the storm had passed. She thought I had let it go. Then, one evening, I sat her down at the table. I slid a folder across to her. Inside were divorce papers. Her face went white. "What is this?" she stammered. "My response," I said coldly. "To what?" "To your little joke. The one where you told me my ex was bigger. You may have thought it was funny, but it told me everything I needed to know about how little you respect me." Her hands shook as she flipped through the papers. "You can't be serious." "Over one comment?" "It wasn't one comment," I said. "It was the truth slipping out of your mouth. And even if it wasn't, the fact that you thought it was okay to say something like that to your husband tells me what you think of me. I'm not living like that. I'm not raising my kids in a home where their father is a punchline to their mother." She broke down, panicking. She swore she didn't mean it, that she loved me, that she was drunk, that it was just a slip. But I'd already made up my mind. The divorce went through fast. I fought for custody of the kids and won primary guardianship. Since I had the financial stability and she had nothing to back up her fitness as a parent besides empty apologies. When the dust settled, she was left in a small rental, sharing custody. Her reputation in tatters among our families once word spread about why we divorced. Even her own parents told her she had crossed a line no decent wife should. As for me, I walked away with my dignity intact. Her joke was meant to cut me down, to make me feel small. But in the end, it cut her life apart instead. Now, whenever I think back to that night, I don't feel pain anymore. I feel a cold satisfaction, because the moment she thought it was funny to compare me to her ex, she lost the right to ever call me her husband. And my response, filing for divorce without another word, left her scrambling, panicking, and ultimately alone.